Amahle thought the old mirror was just a forgotten antique, tucked away in her grandmother's house. But when it began showing her more than her reflection, her fears, her secrets, and her unspoken choices, she realized the mirror was watching her as much as she was watching it. This tale from the Nightfire Chronicles blends modern African storytelling with mystery, folklore, and an immersive sound. Amahle had always loved her grandmother's house. It smelled of dried herbs, wood smoke, and the faint sweetness of old paper. The kind of place where shadows gathered in corners like gossiping relatives. She was staying there for the first time in years, helping sort through belongings after her grandmother's passing. Most of it was simple: boxes of letters, faded photographs, fabric folded with care. But in the back room, under a thick sheet of dust, she found the mirror. It was taller than she was, framed in dark wood, carved with spirals that almost seemed to move when the light hit them. The glass wasn't cracked, but it looked older than any mirror Amahle had ever seen. Its surface shimmered faintly, like it held water instead of reflection. Amahle leaned closer. Her reflection stared back. Same round face, same knot of braids tied up for convenience, same tired eyes from sorting boxes all day. But something about the reflection felt slower, as if her reflection hadn't moved at the same time she had. She shook her head. Too many late nights, she muttered. The next evening, Amahle sat on the floor in front of the mirror, sorting jewelry and scarves. The house was quiet, except for the occasional hoot of an owl. That's when she saw it. Her reflection's lips moved, but she hadn't spoken. Amahle froze. What? The reflection mouthed a single word. She could almost hear it, though no sound came. Stay. Her chest tightened. She stumbled up, knocking over a small jewelry box. Beads spilled across the wooden floor. The mirror rippled, just for a second, like someone had dropped a stone in still water. The next day, she tried to convince herself it was her imagination. Lack of sleep. Too many memories of her grandmother. But that night, the mirror didn't just mouth words. It showed her. Instead of her room, the reflection revealed another version, darker, colder. In it, Amahle wasn't alone. A figure stood behind her reflection, tall and faceless, its presence pressing against her like cold rain. She spun around. Nothing. Just the silence of the room. She turned back. The figure was closer in the mirror, its head tilted, like it was studying her. Amahle whispered, "What do you want?" The reflection's eyes darkened, shadows creeping outward until her own face disappeared. A voice, not hers, slipped through the room like smoke. You called me when you touched the wood. Now, you must answer." Her grandmother had told her stories once, long ago, about objects that carried more than beauty, objects that held memory, spirit, and hunger. Amahle had laughed them off. Until now. For nights, she tried to avoid the room, but the mirror called to her in subtle ways. The creak of its frame when she passed the door, the faint glimmer through the crack, even in darkness. By the fifth night, Amahle gave in. She stood before it, candle in hand. "What do you want from me?" she demanded, her voice shaking. The reflection smiled. Not her smile, too wide, too sharp. The glass began to shift, showing not her face, but her past. Moments she had buried, the friend she abandoned when the rumors spread, the love she walked away from without explanation, the promise she made to her grandmother and never kept. Tears welled in Amahle's eyes. "Stop!" The reflection whispered, "Stay, and we will keep your secrets. Leave, and they will follow." Amahle dropped the candle. In the moment of darkness, she felt hands, cold, invisible, press against her back, urging her forward toward the mirror. When the candle flared alive again, the room was empty. The mirror stood alone. But Amahle's reflection was gone. You have been listening to Nightfire Chronicles. Tonight's story was Amahle and the mirror that wouldn't let go. Sometimes reflections show us more than what we want to see. Until next time, beware of the shadows that watch back.